welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point. We got the hit makers in the house. We got Tasha T. Sizzle in the middle, Hollywood Square. And back from his bye week, Mr. Michigan Michael Hasso. What's going on today, gang?
A beautiful day, ready to talk about sports.
Ooh, are we going to do that? T. Sizzle, you got a Cheshire Cat grin already?
Hey, I know we got a lot to talk about, but as you can see, I'm pool ready, and it's hotter than Texas without no power in this heat. So,
You mean that's the Jordan pool? Oh, you know what? We'll get into that a little bit later in the show. We have a jam-packed show for you today. But before we get into any of that, of course, a word from our sponsor.
we are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. You can get your Colombian, your Honduran, your Brazilian, and also your whiskey infused coffee, freshly ground or not, by my lovely daughter, Sasha Denise. Again, guys, please continue to support her. We appreciate all of you who have supported her, but we need more. This is something she's very passionate about because the company is named after both of her great grandmothers. So it's something that's near and dear to her heart and my heart. And I want this coffee to wet your palate. See, look, I even got me a little May Jane's left in here from this morning. But again, please continue to support May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com.
That is May Jane's Coffee. Shouts out to our sponsor. Let's just start right here because I've been waiting on you to get back, Mike. We missed you last week. We had a good time on the show.
No, we didn't miss it because he was coming in with the pattiness in the corner.
Hey, she's still triggered by the whole Randy Moss deal.
Here we go.
But never fear. T Sizzle has a brand new top 5 for us to debate this week. But we got to start in the world of college football. For those of y'all who just got out on warrants this morning, welcome back into society. But you missed a doozy of a duel between two of college football's most notable coaches. Let's start with Coach Nick. It's really been Nick Saban versus Err'body. He had basically a meet and greet with some boosters and with some financial people associated with the University of Alabama. Stop smiling, Mike. You can't wait to get into this. We're going to come to you first, Tim. All right. He gets on there and in a passionate plea to rile up his booster base, he goes on the offensive and calls out fellow SEC West coach Jimbo Fisher of Texas A&M, saying that he bought his number 1 recruiting class. Just if you're keeping score, Alabama was number 2, and he said that he didn't buy any of his players. He even went on to throw shots at primetime neon Deion Sanders, saying that he paid $1 million to get Justin Hunter to flip from Florida State to Jackson State, a small HBCU in Jackson, Mississippi. Google it if you've never heard of them before. So, Mike, you've already given us the black lip and a grin. We're coming to you first. Welcome back, by the way. Let's start right here. Does Saban have a point? Is there any merit to what he said?
First of all, I can't roll my eyes hard enough for that. I mean, I tried, but my eyes just can't roll that far. Man, that's like Tom Brady complaining about doing whatever it takes to win.
Tasha, we've been 3 minutes into the show before he brought up Tom Brady.
I mean, we
back,
got Michigan gear on too, so you know.
Go blue, by the way.
Yeah, go blue. But like, I get what he's saying, but no, you don't. No.
What do you get about what he's saying? What do you get?
I get what he's saying by like people are doing that, right? Like that's facts. But as far as leaving yourself out of that conversation, like, oh, you think you just built this dynasty just because of the ugly A that you have on your helmet, or like
it's called the script A.
Script A on your helmet or your emblem. Like, no, like people don't care, and the fan base of Alabama knows what's going on. Actually, if he stopped paying, he's like, hey, go ahead, here's an extra $100 right here. Go get that other player. You know, like right. They know what's going on. If the state of Alabama knows what's going on, America knows what's going on.
So, like to Mike's point, it's hard for me to imagine the Tongavaloas moving all the way from Hawaii to Alabama with no assistance from head coach Nick Saban. Anybody believe in that? Not I. T Sizzle, you have made a plethora of faces during Mike's soliloquy. Go ahead, the floor is yours. Do you think that this is just sour grapes on behalf of Saban, or does he have a point?
No, he definitely has a point. We all know that these players are being paid outside of NILs. They are being recruited. I'm not going to necessarily say by the university or by the coaches, but these coaches know good and damn well what they're doing. If Mike goes to Michigan, Mike and I on the team, you and I grew up together. You the top recruit playing at X university. What are they going to do? Tasha and Mike, maybe y'all need to talk to Paul for us. See if we can get Paul to come here. That's what's going on. And nobody wants to admit that. So Saban does have a point. What I don't agree with is the way that he put it out there. Like you're doing it because what they say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning.
Right.
And for you to put that out there, the only thing you're going to do is put the spotlight on you, because you're saying that, I think I read it, I can't remember if it was 26 or 29, I tweeted it to you. He says only 26 or 29 of his players actually have NILs. So you got scholarships for 85 people. So those other 60, 70 plus students aren't getting anything.
Nobody believes that. Nobody. Maybe Boo Boo the fool, but
all I got to say is, old boy Jimbo, he ethered that ass without a beat.
He
well, I mean,
he ethered that ass without a beat.
He did.
Well, I think that's why it makes it feel so much better when you beat an Ohio from a Michigan standpoint, because Michigan's been trying to stay clean for the longest of times ever since the 90s basketball. But we'll digress from that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. They just started coming together.
Don't do that, Mike.
But I mean, that's why it feels so much better when you beat a team that is doing that, and you just demolish them and take their spirit away, and they start instantly losing recruits. Like that's why it feels.
And this is another thing on that too. If you want to win a championship, of course, you're going to go to an Alabama. You're going to go to an Ohio or a Clemson a few years ago. But
Michigan?
But if you want to get this, hey, come on now, we ain't want to ship now.
No. But to her point, if you want to go to the NFL, you go to Michigan.
But if
we go from the NIL to the NFL, that's our selling point.
But if you want to get paid, you're going to go to one of these bigger programs.
Well, speaking of paid, let's get to the other person who caught a stray bullet in all of this. That's one primetime Deion Sanders. Do you think that he did not pay Hunter $1 million to come play for Jackson State? I'm not buying it. Are you?
Man,
let me tell you something.
Now. You know Deion. You know Deion, and I respect and I like Deion. Even when he was a Cowboy, I'm not a Cowboy fan, but I like Deion and his play, his swagger, and the way he brought it to the field, the way he played both sides. Like, I love that. And for him to publicly say, yeah, Saban tried to reach out to me, but I was like, if you got to say it to me, you could say it to the rest of America. So go ahead.
Right. Don't be criticizing me in public and trying to apologize in private. I love that from primetime Deion. But did he pay the man the money? Stephanie says he's innocent.
Look, Steph Super said, stay off of the shade room. Man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Something was exchanged, and no one can make me believe that it was not. Not saying that we're HBCU to the core. We know what Jackson State can do. We know what Jackson State has produced. The late great Walter Payton, among a few others.
They paid him in untrackable NFTs.
Right. So when you have a Florida kid who has only been talking about FSU this, FSU that, and then all of a sudden he jumps to JSU, something is a dead cat on the line somewhere. So for Deion out here bumping his gums, talking about, I'm not even making $1 million. You don't need $1 million, but somebody in that university got $1 million to do. Some of y'all got a new bus For the players, all your players showing up suited and booted, looking good, I might add.
What Primetime said, if you look good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. That was a Deion original.
So, I mean, again, all these coaches, of course, they're going, what do? You deny. And we all know that. That's the street code. Deny.
Wasn't me. But with in the case of Deion, and this may be where college football is headed as far as coaching hires going forward, it's not so much necessarily maybe his own net worth, because he could pay that kid $1 million if he wanted to and still have enough to not follow him into heaven. I think it's his relationships with some of the sponsors that he's accrued over the years, the Nikes, the Gatorades. He's with Barstool Sports now, who have deep pockets, deep enough to bring him on board. So I think he can put people in the hands of people who can funnel the money to him. And $1 million, if it's just one player, that's old hat for Deion Sanders. Now, Mike, let me ask you on this front. Jimbo Fisher, he went scorched earth, like Tasha said. He went ether on Saban and basically started with if you want to play this game, I coach for you. I know where the bones are buried. I know what you've done over the last 3 decades. Do you think anything will come of that, or do you think that the media at large will dig into that? Do you think that this could continue to escalate?
Tasha and I both like the date lines. We always like when the other person turns on the other person, because you're like, oh, this is about to get good. I think it's all talk right now. I think he's checking Saban and be like, hey, you might want to watch your mouth, because I know what I know, and right. You might just want to check yourself. I'm not going to do anything right now. I mean, that's also the street rule too. Like, you absolutely don't rat out, but open your mouth one more time.
Belichick and the coach from the Jets, where he was like, look, I know you filming other teams, just don't film me. He filmed the Jets and he blew the whistle on them. Yep. But Jimbo, I hope you're listening, because I want to tell you something, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Don't be cussing out the police officer that pulled you over, saying that you wasn't speeding when you got a brick of weed in the trunk. Like,
wait a minute,
simmer down, because people got stuff on YouTube. They're what
did he say? Keep talking. I'm trying to pull up what Jimbo said. Keep talking. I'll find it.
He needed to be slapped in the mouth when he was a kid.
No, it was something about how he was saying, "Oh, I've always done something. I've always done things the right way."
Black lip. Who's believing that? Like, I guess who's Mike? While she's looking at that, let me go to this aspect of it, because you are Mr. Michigan Mike, Mr. Ann Arbor himself, Mr. A Square. Now, 3 years ago, Jim Harbaugh, my man, we back cool again now, right now. My man, Jim Harbaugh, he held a camp in Florida, an IMG camp in Florida, and the Nick Sabans, the Jimbo Fishers, the all the SEC coaches were just all with their panties in a bunch, coming down on Harbaugh, saying that was an unfair competitive advantage. To which Harbaugh replied, "That how a bunch of cheaters gonna lecture me on NCAA rules?" Now that we see them infighting and turning on each other, basically Jimbo said that corroborated his story, saying that Saban has been cheating since day one. Does this validate Harbaugh? Does Harbaugh look like the man in your eyes right now at this point?
I mean, when he said it, I don't think anybody was surprised, though. It was just more of a funny thing. It was like, yeah, get him, Harbaugh. Like, what are you talking to me about? Just playing within the rules, but like, I can't come to your state or your region. It was just more of a hilarious thing. I honestly don't think that anybody was like, oh my gosh, is he serious? No, he can't be serious. And then this comes out. I don't know anybody that didn't think the SEC, most of the SEC teams were cheating.
Do you think, Tasha, that Nick Saban is worried about losing his grip on the college football championship game? Because let's not forget, Texas A&M beat him on the field last year.
Well, wait a minute. I found the quote. Jimbo says, "We never bought anybody. No rules
lies, using lies as alibis.
Nothing was done wrong." This is my thing. Those boosters. Okay, and I've heard people say this. Other commentators, I know Dominique Foxworth said it, and the guy on Get Up said it yesterday. The NIL basically is pay for play. If Saban sees that he's losing that grip, guess what? Them boosters gonna step up with some more money. You're gonna find more Lexus dealerships, more Cadillac dealerships, more this, more that, offering players money to come to Alabama. Because it's not like the day. Remember when Landon Collins, when his mom acted a damn fool when he selected Alabama over LSU. Those days of, I just want to go here because I want to win a championship, are over. Because these children nowadays, you don't know their background. You don't know what they need. Now, some of them may be doing it just for the greed. And I know we're going to get into a topic of one particular player later on, but those days are over. And you have coaches to sit up here and say that they're not doing anything wrong. Yeah, you're not. It's just legal now for them to pay. All I got to say is October 8th in Tuscaloosa, gonna be the ish. It's gonna be.
Oh yeah. Mike, you were saying?
I think this is more becoming a lawyer move, is what I call it, to where they're just saying, well, I'm not paying for that player. You know what happens is they bring out a list. The booster probably brings out a list, or whoever is behind the scenes pulling the strings and saying, here's this list. Let me know, or write down who you want. And then they write down who they want. They say, make it happen. They walk away. They don't know what's going on.
But the thing is,
technically, they're right.
Let me bring y'all's beautiful faces back up.
The whole system is broken to me, because I think they didn't think it through. Like, why couldn't you just let it be like it always has been? Let these boosters play these kids. But I think they're also upset because they're losing out on some of that money. The money that would normally come to the university is now going to the kids. But just like I said, y'all could have paid them the way they've always been paid. Let the boosters continue to do it, and it wouldn't be an issue. Let these agents, when these children sign with these agents, let those agents give them that watch. Let them agents give them those cars, and then it wouldn't be an issue. But I know Heather Dennett, she also said, had a good thing that they were saying that they think everything that Saban does is calculated. So maybe he's doing this to put it out there to his boosters to say, hey, y'all want these championships. Y'all still want this to be called Title Town. Y'all gonna have to come up off some more money.
I think that was definitely the point. Go ahead, Mike.
I think he's doing it for, if we're talking about chess moves, I think he's doing it from the larger picture. Yeah. And, I've been saying it for years of NCAA is going downhill. Yeah, and this might be the calm before the storm. And Saban's been on board too, if we need to get rid of NCAA. So I think he's trying to, it's kind of like when the market is going like all weird and doing real things and like, oh man, it's about to crash. The NCAA is about to crash.
I mean, you see, Mark Emmert quit. I think he saw the writing on the wall and said, hey, let me get one more year in to get towards this pension, and I'm gonna call it quits.
Let's kind of broaden the scope on this NIL, because this thing has been brewing for a few weeks and we're just not getting a chance to touch on it. If you haven't seen the 30 for 30 on ESPN for the Pony Excess, where the SMU program received a death penalty for the pay for play type of scenario, there was a particular booster by the name of Sherwood Blunt that was so rich, that was so powerful, that he became more powerful than the head coach. He would go off on his own and renegade a player, pay a player to move to Dallas, Texas. And the coach was like, well, I don't want to play him. I want to play this other guy. Do you see coaches being put in a position to where if the boosters paid a quarterback $3-4 million, he can't sit on the bench and watch the quarterback that the coach wants to play? There's going to be some problems there. Do you think this is going to add pressure to these high-power coaches?
Am I going first? I'll go first. I think there's always pressure. I think that's why this football head coach of especially college is a different game. Like you can't just come in and coach your team that you want to coach. That's probably why a lot of them just go to the NFL and it's like, maybe I'll have a little bit more power. And that's a different story. But yeah, I think it's a whole different ball game, because it's like, all right, cool. I just need this. Okay, I'm gonna get this person. Booster comes in, is like, nah, you're gonna have this one. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's switch up this scheme real quick. So yeah,
right. So let's say me and Tasha are an investment group. We hit the Powerball and now we have a lot of money. You're Michigan Mike. You're the defensive coordinator at Michigan. We want you to start player X because we paid a lot of money and went through a lot of trouble to get him on campus. But yet during spring and fall camp, there's another kid that we didn't have our hands on that wants to play. Now, I'm from the position of, do you want us to pull our money? What does an athletic director do in this situation? Who do you side with? Because there's nothing without the money in the NIL era, Tasha, isn't it?
All I'm going to say is, I'm going to say 2 words. And if you know football, you'll know where I'm going with this. Oklahoma State. Who is the biggest funder of Oklahoma State football?
Isn't it Nike?
T. Boone Pickens.
Oh, it is. Yeah, just like Phil Knight with Oregon. Now,
and if you don't know, I need y'all to Google him. But when I say T. Boone Pickens, money was long, longer than Lishy. If you know what that means. So there is money. Like I remember one time one of my students' sister was going on college tours because she was deciding where to go to college. She ended up going to University of Miami, but she took a tour of Missouri. They have a whole oasis in the middle of their campus where when it's freezing cold, you can go. It's like a lagoon. It's really, really pretty. You got money to do that. You got money to pay these kids. That money is coming from somewhere. So if all these ADs, if all these coaches have problems with who gets what student comes where, take that lagoon out of the middle of the university. So ease up on some of these slides. Clemson has a slide because another one of my friend's daughters, when she was thinking about going to college, she was going to Clemson. Her father was on the team with Martin Luther Dabo when he played at Alabama. So when she went on her visit, he basically gave them the run of the Clemson, area. There's a slide inside the building. Take that money and give it to the players.
But Stephanie asked, and I'll take that to you, Tasha, but hasn't it always been like this, though?
Yes. It's always, like you said, go back to the Pony Express. It has always been like that. There's always been some palms being greased somewhere. And now they want to act like they didn't know, or their university hasn't been doing it. It has always been done. But like I said, now because I think the universities cannot benefit from the money that the players are making, they are getting mad. And then you do have it where it's getting out of control, where, like I said, you have students saying, well, if I don't get this money, I'm going to go here. And
we saw that with Miami basketball this offseason.
And that's ruining some of their programs. Again, I have a later on when we talk about this particular player, I'm going to go into that and what I really think is going on.
Right on. Now, Langston, for those who don't know, he was a star running back in high school at Pearl Cone Comprehensive High School. And so, Langston, if you're still on, I just got a quick question for you. In today's market, if you were a senior today with the stats that you had in high school, would you have chosen money or a chance to win a national championship right away? Just something to think about and chime in on that. Mike, but back to you and the University of Michigan. Harbaugh was on a podcast not too long ago, the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, and he had a statement that I want you to try to elaborate on if you can, since you speak Harbaugh and you speak Michigan. He said the University of Michigan is transformational, not transactional. And he stands on the pride of the Michigan name and the Michigan man and the way that Michigan does things.
Right.
Do you think that will be a hindrance to Michigan going forward? Do you think we need to jump into pay for play? What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think Michigan has come a long way from being like a Northwestern school to being known as the number one university in America, public university in America, to saying like, hey, if you do get hurt here, at least you have this awesome degree that you can take anywhere. On top of that, I think he's also meaning like, if you do want to go to the next level, look how many people we've taken to the NFL, and not just go to the NFL, but like have a long term with the NFL, not just do it like a one and done. And I think being a transactional school, it's nice in the moment, but then once you get hurt or once you get injured and there's nobody there to help you, Michigan's like, no, we got you. Like we're family, and that's what we mean.
Now, welcome back, Langston. He says he got dinner at Sweats to leave Hillsborough and come back to Pearl. How do we block you? Now, he also follows up to say that he was a culture guy, so he would have picked the best fit for him. Plus, he valued, that goes right to your point, Mike, that he valued a good education. Because you could take a degree from Michigan and go move to any of the 50 states in this country and have somebody there in administration that probably was a Michigan grad and get you a great job. So I agree with you there.
And also, like when you sent me the thing about Hunter Dickerson, how he was even saying basically, you know, they're going to have to come up and do something if they want to get the top recruits because they're losing out on top recruits because they're not playing. But also, you can pay a guy too, but who's going to say he's going to pan out? We've seen many a player, 5-star, 4-star, get to a university and fizz out, and you done paid them all this damn money, and then you bought, you know, bad goods. It's something that's not going to benefit you. And again,
right.
I'm with Mike, and I mean, we always joke on Vanderbilt, but if you go somewhere and your degree says Vanderbilt University, as bad as it sounds, that will get you in the door. A degree that says University of Michigan will get you in the door. So if you're one of these mid-level players and you happen to come up on some coin from this NIL, because everybody's not going pro, I advise you to stack that cheese. So when you graduate, you'll have you a little cushion, you know, to kind of do something. Then if you do make it to the NFL and then you fizz out, you still got a little bit of NIL money. My thing is just be smart with the money. And that goes to Deion's point when he was saying hire people to teach these kids how to manage this money as well, which is something that they're still not doing. And we talked about this, about a year ago when they were talking about this, how the NCAA needs to put in place someone to teach children how to manage this money, these student athletes, how to manage this money.
It's almost like y'all walked right into this, and it's beautiful that I love the synergy and the symmetry with what we're talking about, because just yesterday, we saw a former Michigan basketball player, Charles Matthews, who went to the 2018 Final Four with them, the championship game. He was on Shark Tank with a group of investors pitching to Mark Cuban because the education, because he found himself, he transitioned into the business world because he didn't go pro. So to Mike's point, there was value in transferring to Michigan, getting a business degree, and going forward because he didn't make it to the pros. But my thing is, how long will these coaches last now with the NIL deal? Because it's got to add pressure to the Sabans. You look at the people who were complaining the most, the people who had the chokehold on the industry. Dabo Luther the King, he saw NIL coming, and he was a staunch defender of the old regime where he could stash a player for 3-4 years. Mike, the transfer portal seemed to come up right in line with the NIL, which makes the NIL leverage all the way in favor of the player. Because now Mike is like, my son is rotting away on the bench and his eligibility is evaporating right before our very eyes. We about to jump ship and go to Penn State. We about to jump ship and go to XYZ. Mike, how do you keep a program together in this era of football?
I think kind of what we talked about a while ago was like the whole coaching aspect of it has to change. And you can tell by these older coaches that are kind of losing grip on what the new game is. And what I mean is it's not just on the field anymore. You gotta show up good to the houses. You gotta and actually end with what you promised. We look at these coaches that are leaving or trying to like, man, I can't do this anymore. Let's go somewhere else. And then you see these younger coaches, and I'm not even say young, like age-wise. I mean, you see a Mel Tucker that just has a connection with younger kids, and is like, I see what they value. I see what they value, and they more value your word. They're looking for this figure that they can trust in, that they probably didn't have, or they don't have at home, or just in general. Like, that's what, I mean, you look at millennials and the younger generations, they don't necessarily value the money part anymore. It's like, can I trust you that you're going to take care of me?
Mike, and the thing is, it's great to have Mike on the show because he does have Gen Z kids in his home. So he gets a firsthand look at how the new generation moves, how they act. I remember him, just off subject for just a second, I remember him telling me about this hoodie craze that the kids were doing even in the summertime. And now I'm seeing parents on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Pictures of their kids walking around in this 80-degree heat with hoodies on. I was like, Mike was telling me about that a couple of years ago. Like, I didn't get it, but it's how the kids think now.
Yeah,
in
that's
the business
wild.
world. Right, in the business world. These kids are staying at companies 20, 30 years no more. It's like, what can you do for me? And they're always looking. It's not even a bad thing to have 5 or 6 jobs on your resume in a 3-year span. Because they're like, if you're not giving me what I need, I'm going to bounce. And I don't care how much money you're paying me. So it's like, it's going to be fascinating to see how the pecking order changes and who is able to align with these kids in that fashion. Now, Tasha, there was a transaction that happened in college football this week that really got your juices and berries boiling. And that was Jordan Addison, wide receiver from Pittsburgh, transferring to USC. Why did that ruffle your feathers?
First of all, I'm going to come up out of my glasses for this.
So you can see what you're saying.
You can lie to them. You can't lie to me.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, explain.
Remember when this all first started, he was saying, I want to better my chances at getting to the NFL. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. This, that, and other thing. Oh, I have this particular school that I'm interested in. First of all, and I told Paul this, I didn't do it though. Mike can probably do it while I'm talking. You're talking about going to the NFL. The last time I checked, the University of Pittsburgh had several NFL players. Several
Hall of Fame NFL
Hall
players.
of Famers. Then you're coming off winning the Biletnikoff Award, which meant you were the top wide receiver in college football that season, which was last season. You're slated now, just as going into this next season, in the number 22 spot. That's what I read, which can rise. So you mean to tell me ain't nobody looking at you? You don't think anybody in the NFL is looking at you?
Do they look at Larry Fitzgerald when he caught passes at Pitt? Or what about Aaron Donald? James Conner, anybody?
Again, James Conner missed a whole season for cancer. A whole entire season. He got drafted by the Steelers. He is now, and he had a very good season at Arizona. Again, this guy missed a whole season, and somebody in NFL saw him. So what you want to do is say, after consideration from my family and my friends, and you know I have a big problem with that. That means somebody got their hand out and saying, son, do this, do that. You're going to get this money.
Lincoln Riley out there, la.
Oh, I ain't got the Lincoln yet. And I even wrote the date down. It was April 30th of 2020 when I sent you that message. And I said, basically, Lincoln finna get USC blanked up.
But Mike, Glacier says, but he lost his NFL drafted QB.
I ain't even done.
Okay, well, go ahead.
So then you got your boy, Caleb Williams, who left OU with Lincoln. I believe Lincoln is doing a little tampering. I'm going to read what Caleb Williams said when he left. When you have as many, about going to USC, when you have as many players as they have coming into the NFL at all positions, I don't think there's any way to really combat it. Okay. Also,
too soon, Langston, too soon.
To your point, Caleb Williams, the University of Oklahoma has had 409 players in the NFL, which as of April 20th, 2022 was the 4th most nationally.
So you're saying that he should have stayed at OU?
Wait a minute. My whole point is you guys are saying you're going here because you want a better chance at going to the NFL or doing this. You took over as a freshman for Spencer Rattler, who was playing crappy, but you came in and took his starting job. And just say what it is. Y'all going to La La Land because you can get more money in California than you can in Oklahoma. But the thing is, areas like Oklahoma and Texas, that's oil money. Look at Jerry Jones. That's money. If your ultimate goal is to get to the NFL, if you can play, they're going to see you. Just say what it is.
No, wait a minute. We being called out. Hey, we left Nashville. Hey, it was NIL, baby. I had to come to oil country.
Hey. Langston, you
Good
see how
Langston.
look.
Left the country. At least I'm still in the U.S. of A.
I'm ready to go to pool, Langston. I can go.
That was a good clap back. Hey, Mike, I ain't going back either. So let's go back to what Langston said earlier. But he lost his quarterback to the NFL. So does that usurp the whole NIL deal, or do you think this was pay for play at its finest?
No, I mean I agree. I think this kind of goes back to what we were saying. This is a younger generation. They're going to try to choose the best option, the easiest option. I'll say it like that. But what Tasha's saying is just like call it what it is. Hey, I didn't see that much talent here, so I'm going to go to USC and say like I want to be potentially on a news television, for the West Coast every game. And USC is going to be a front runner for college.
They're going to blow through the Pac-12 this year.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice how the Pac-12 said they didn't want the championship game anymore? They want to just put the top two teams statistically.
Because they need a West Coast team in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that the whole NCAA is in on that. Right. It's almost like keeping Golden State good. Oh, we're going to get to them in a little bit. I get it. It's a fascinating conversation to have as far as the NIL and everything. I can't wait for October the 8th. I know it's good for college football. Michigan, just as a fan, I'm pleading with you and the Michigan Mikes of the world and the Tashas both got pools in their backyard. I need y'all to dig in the coin purse. I need you to dig in the wallet. I need you to hit that 401k.
We're going to see USC Michigan Rose Bowl, old school. Let's go.
We'll be there. And I was just thinking this. Who wouldn't leave Pittsburgh for LA? I was thinking about Norman, Oklahoma. Who wouldn't leave Norman for LA? Do you know the quality of little purses in LA? You search the quality of little purses in Norman?
Stop. Because see, you can say little purse. But see, when I say something outside of my neck, we got to move right along.
Little purses is very
moving on in a hurry.
Thank
moving
you,
on
Mike.
in a hurry.
Thank
right,
you,
Mike. Moving on in a hurry.
The show got to be censored.
But one of my last questions here, Mike, what can get you, what is the NCAA violation anymore? And I'm asking you this for the overarching theme of why is there a use for NCAA now if the only thing that governed was pay for play and now it's legal?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that's where everyone's been talking about. Like, why is NCAA? Do y'all even know how much money NCAA is taking? And they don't get charged taxes either.
See, why you make us hate them even more? We trying to spread love on the show. But
no,
but y'all can go back to the radio days of the Extra Point. Mike was saying that there was two things he was right about. Tennessee should have took Tom Brady over re-signing Tannehill. He was right about that. And he was right that the NCAA was 2 feet away from the cliff because it looks like they're teetering on getting pushed over it this year.
That's the man from The Price is Right.
You be like, babe, how much is that ravioli?
$6.75.
You'll be trucking up that hill. I'm like, no. Okay. She sounds just like that thing. Y'all, as a side note, it is on my bucket list to be in the showcase showdown on the extra. I mean, I said on the Extra Point. On The Price is Right. Get me to La and let me bid on them skis, on the washing dryer. I've been doing my research. Mike and Tasha, y'all got all the appliances in the world. Y'all can help feed me in there. We're going to go to Aspen. They always got a trip to Aspen on one of those.
Yes.
Wow. So do you think this spells the end as we end this segment? Do you think this spells the end of Saban's dominance over college football like he dominated the last 10 years, Mike?
No, I don't foresee that. I think he gets a lot of backing, and you have to think like, let's be real. Alabama's not one of the richest states, so it's almost like I need I need Auburn to do better to take a little bit of that away. And Auburn's kind of been the background of like, I mean, we're cool, like,
Right.
like, what do you mean, man? I need y'all to be good. Like back in Cam Newton, how y'all were just pushing people around.
Right.
And we
but-
know about
Right.
Right. I mean, it took them to cheat as well, but yeah, I need them to step up, because once someone is weak like that, like Saban, then what happened? He tried to go to Miami. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go over here. I'm like,
right.
okay.
Now, Tasha, on the flip side, to put a nice little bow on this, if you're Jimbo Fisher, you just put a huge target on your back with the #1 recruit class and saying you never cheated, you didn't pay these players. Does Jimbo now put himself on the clock to win a championship? Because Texas A&M has had great recruiting classes since I had a hot top fade.
Texas
And
A&M.
it hadn't equated to nothing.
He's been on the hot seat since he signed that big ass contract. Put it that way. You bumping your gums. Now they done paid your players for you. Got your players in there. So it's time for you to show and tell, bro. Show and tell. I mean,
Right.
and especially for you to get those type of players to go to A&M. Like, do you know what? It's nothing in College Station at all. And I think Bomani Jones said this. You have Texas, and then you got A&M, and then you got Ole Miss, and then you got State. Ole Miss and Austin are like Paris compared to Starkville and College Station. You don't get them kind of players to go there, dude, without something being done. So they done gave you what you asked for, Mr. We ain't never cheated here. So if you don't start putting some kind of championship, oh yeah, it's gonna expose you. And also back to Saban real quick, like you said, put a bow on it. Let Saban lose another national championship this year. We're gonna see a plethora of money coming from somewhere. So Saban,
Right.
as much as you guys hate Saban, I don't really hate Nick Saban as much as everyone else does. Watch. He did that for a reason. He's basically speaking to his boosters. Y'all, we need some money. I need that money.
Mike, what happens if Saban loses to Jimbo again on October the 8th?
Nothing. I mean, nothing. A&M's still going to be irrelevant when it comes to the playoffs. I mean, it's true. I know a lot of people that are alumni and fans and whatnot around here. It's the same thing.
Having #1 picks in the draft
and the family.
And you know what's going to happen? Is they still haven't been relevant in the past year. I can't even remember, and that's without playing Texas and OU. Imagine when they jump back in and start playing each other again. Get on out of here.
Yeah, Saban. Look, next time, bro, you don't have to be like, well, it's like Mike telling his wife, well, Tasha, she cooked 4 gourmet meals a week. Like, don't be bringing the next house in it. If you want to ask your wife to cook more, just ask to cook more. If you want to ask your boosters for more money, just say, hey, look, this is the pay-for-play era. These kids are starting to choose other places because they're taking the money over the name, and I'm going to need y'all to open up y'all pockets a little more if y'all want to keep going to the Florida for the championship game and the college football playoff. Leave Deion and them out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Leave Jimbo Fish and them out of it. Let them coach their teams the way they coach. Because
keep my name out your mouth.
Right.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on. What? How will say
it?
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Right, like a wife saying, "I like my new car, honey. Jen down the street has a 2022. The booster of the husband will spend the money the next time."
Thank you, Langston. Thank you.
Good job by you, Langston. Welcome back. Now, the NBA playoffs, as we transition into a little B-ball, the NBA playoffs are now in the conference finals. You don't see a Grizzlies shirt this week because we gone. Them brothers gone. Golden State dispatched of us in 6 excruciating games. Let's go ahead and throw this up here. Mike's sitting there grinning because his damn team is still in it. Now, I got a problem with it. But we haven't talked conference finals yet, so let's get to it. Boston and Miami, they resume their series tonight. They are tied 1-1 in game 1. Boston took the L with no Marcus Smart and no Al Horford. Those two returned in game 2. They blew Miami out in South Beach. Tasha, what are you seeing for the rest of this series now? Tied 1-1.
Again, all of us said that we didn't think Miami or Phoenix, when Phoenix has proved us right, were a deserving number one.
Y'all got that right.
But Miami, look, if y'all don't give Jimmy buckets, Bam, we're going to need you to step up.
Bam, I'm going to need you to step up. Because his name is Damn Adebayo right now.
Tyler, he's doing what is that? Tyler Hero? Is that his name or is it Hebrew?
It's Hero.
Because I watch it in Spanish, so sometimes I don't get what's going on. It's in Spanish. And what's the guy that played for Toronto that's injured? Is he gonna play? Is he even gonna play?
Kyle Lowry.
Is he gonna play?
Hamster? Pocket Hercules?
No, stop.
But the thing is, I see Boston pulling this out simply because Boston is the better team.
They look good. Defensively, offensively, they look good. Mike, your thoughts?
Boston is the better team.
I wanna do a correction. I did say Miami was a deserving number one, and that's more because I thought I really liked their defense. Mm-hmm. Now to say that Celtics offense is just on fire, and I think it's just too much. It's just too much. And if you look at their stats and who can shoot, it's spread out through the starting lineup. And that's what I really like. And I think with the new age of NBA, I don't think defense is going to win you at this championship. So I got the Celtics.
Defense actually propelled Memphis to the number 2 seed, leading the league in rebounds and steals. But offense got them eliminated. They just couldn't match points.
That is
Golden State, to your point.
True, because they're a better defensive team without Ja, but without Ja, there's no offense.
There was no offense, and that proved to undo them. You're absolutely, positively correct. We also have Dallas and Golden State, the last of our Final Four left in the tournament. Golden State overcame a 19-point deficit. Mike, where are you, Mike? No, we're going to pull this screen up. Where are you, Mike?
I'm like Homer Simpson. It's like,
now Mike D says, "What's up, D?" He says these whole playoffs, if the threes are falling, you're going to win. We were talking off camera before we went live about this very thing. Mike, go ahead and elaborate on that because D is absolutely right.
So I was saying, Mavs live and die by the 3-pointer, and it kind of reminds me of the Michigan championship teams. In that championship game, it was just like awful. Like I think we shot like 20% from the 3-pointer, something like that, and that was all we had. That was our offense. Like drive, dish out, hit the 3,
drive, kick, 3.
And I think right now with the Mavs, they need to mix it up and drive more, and they could do that with Phoenix, like to miss some threes because Phoenix was more of a 2-point team. And so
that is absolutely correct.
So when we would miss 3-pointers, they might make 1 or 2 2-pointers. Then we just dish out, hit 1 3. We're still back in the game. And it's like those threes are so deflating. And so now the Mavs are against a team that can hit threes as well. So it's like, oh, well, we're off our game now. It's gonna be a tough series.
Now, Mike. Your team a week ago was in the same predicament. They were down 0-2 with 2 road games. They went back home, tied it up, and then went on to win 4 out of 5 with the most impressive Game 7 road performance in NBA history, playoff history. That was. I'm still shocked by how bad they beat. You up 46 in a Game 7 on the road. CP3, you need your ass whooped, but we're gonna give you a pass this week. On a scale of 1 to 10, Mike, your confidence level that Dallas can do it again.
My confidence level is a 10. And the reason why I say this, the reason why I say this is because the way Jason Kidd is coaching is on a different level. Like, I don't think a lot of people gave Jason Kidd enough credit before this playoffs of like what he can do. And I think what he's doing is showing his veteranship of a player and understanding the NBA playoffs.
He do got a chip as a player.
And I think what's going on is he's understanding the weaknesses of the opposition, and the Suns and Golden State are both older teams. If you take into account their starting lineups. And I just think he's going to wear them down, and he hasn't pulled the trigger yet. I think when we come back, we start getting calls our way. We're going to start jabbing. That's what happened at the Suns. So then Game 7 went to Phoenix. What happened? They were already done. They were like, and then you got their team complain, well, we were going through some injuries. It's the NBA playoffs. You don't think anybody else is going through injuries right now?
Don't talk to Memphis fans about no damn injuries.
Come on.
It's the end of the season. Everybody broke up. But
Right.
to Mike's point about Jay Kidd, I mean, I never thought he should have gotten fired from Milwaukee. You know, that was because they were winning.
Giannis ran him off.
Right.
Making him play on Christmas.
Giannis was one of the ones who wanted to keep him. It was the upper management that kind of ran Jay Kidd off.
The team, he was a task driver. He was a hard
right. But all players don't respond to that. But I think what he's doing in Dallas, you know, is working. Cuban is like, hey, do what you need to do. Because I mean, I need another championship. Dirk is long gone. I need another ring in my case.
Speaking of which, Tasha, did anybody see the national commercial last night with Michael B. Jordan and Dirk when they were talking about the legends are made in the NBA Finals, and when they opened up the suitcase and the championship trophy started glowing, Dirk walked up with an aluminum foil plate in his hand. I love this Dirk. It was a national commercial, yes. He walked up with had a plate in his hand and he said, "This is where legends are made."
He became black famous when he walked up with that plate with that foil from the house.
He reps like he rep. He is so Texas. He's so Dallas. He walked up with his aluminum foil plate in the national commercial.
I mean, and for those of you who don't know, Dirk's wife has my hue. She has my color.
Right, but even more than that, and I kind of thought about that for a split second. But the biggest thing was he know how much attention he got for bringing that plate in from the barbecue crowd.
And so, is there a microwave in the locker room?
Into the barbecue after he walked in with that to-go plate, and when he did it on the commercial, I was just like, he's gonna stay true to him.
I think that swagger that Dirk has too is rubbing off on Luka. I think when Luka first came, he was kind of more like, you know, I'll test the waters and stuff, and Dirk understands this younger generation, so he's like, all right. And so I think now that Luka is figuring out the NBA play, or the NBA in general, is just a different game. I think he's even trying to shoot his shot again. You see the Dirk shot, Luka's starting to do it now.
They kept hitting the front of the rim. We're gonna need you to do that in the first quarter. But they said, "Were you adopted by Mark Cuban? Is your Mike Cuban now, Mike?"
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'll be watching Shark Tank.
No, look.
You know, you got what I call him, Dirk Quan. Now he's rubbing off on Lucante.
Right. His name is Lucante
Deshaun.
because he got that playground mentality. But let's not underestimate the year that Luka had with Dirk as they transitioned, you know, from one superstar to the other. There's so much value added when a superstar is unselfish that he's ready to pass the mantle, he's ready to walk away, his place is secure, and he's not pulling a Tannehill saying, I'm not going to teach the younger generation. He taught them how to go be a killer, because you go back to 2011 NBA Finals, Dirk was a killer. Dirk was Luka. He took down the big three. Like that's something that you'll never see again. One man beat a super team. Drew Merriman checks in. The biggest Aggie fan this side of the Mississippi.
He missed it.
I hope you caught it. If not, you need to rewind the tape.
We need to start at the beginning, man. We just spent 30 minutes talking about the Aggie. Shouts out to my brother from another mother. So Mike, you're at a 10 that Dallas is going to do it again. I didn't mean to rhyme that, y'all. It's just in me. Tasha, where's your confidence level? Are you at a 10?
No.
Damn.
I mean, I told you guys, Golden State was.
Mike is looking at you like, watch your mouth.
No, she told us Phoenix was going to win, technically.
Stop that, Mike.
I told you guys that Golden State was going to beat Memphis. It's just something about.
Why you bringing Memphis back into this? We took our L.
About that championship fortitude that's unstoppable. Because if Chris Middleton had been playing, Milwaukee would have beat Boston, because
that's true. I believe that.
Champions just show up and they know how to win. Now, Mike thinks that I just hate on Luka. Man, I F's with Luka. I love Luka, but I just don't love them to win now.
It's hard for me to bet my money on Luka if I got to pay a bill with it. I mean, against Luka if I got to pay a bill with it, and it's hard for me to bet against. To Mike's point, the coach making adjustments. What he did to make adjustments to basically force Phoenix to match them 3 for 3 those last 5 games was brilliant.
But this ain't Phoenix.
It's not.
You have a coach like Mike said. They're going to make the adjustments. They're going to be back home. They're going to make the adjustments.
I'm sure they're going to attack the paint a lot more in game 3.
But you also have a team who knows how to make adjustments with or without their own coach.
See, there you go throwing another shot in that we got eliminated by Mike Brown. See, I'm about to mute you. I'm still hurt about this, and I need Dallas to vanquish
Mike Brown is a championship-winning coach.
I know, but still, and where in the hell did the Kevon Looney come from? Ever since Game 6 against the Memphis Grizzlies, he's turned into Kevin Garnett.
When they shouting MVP at him or something at one point, because I fell asleep on the game.
Kevon Looney,
MVP at one point.
All right. So with that being said, we have one of the most intriguing Final Fours in recent memory with no KD, no LeBron, so the teams being so evenly matched at this point. There's no clear-cut juggernaut winner. Any of these teams can win the championship, in my opinion. So with that, let's get into this week's T-Sizzle's top 5. Your top 5 players left in the playoffs. The floor is yours, Mama.
Of course, I got Jimmy Buckets.
At number 1?
I didn't know I had to do it in particular.
Okay. All right. Okay, go ahead. I
got Jason Tatum.
Okay.
LeConte Deshaun Doncic.
LeConte!
Surprise. Okay, my last 2 are going to shock you.
Okay.
I got Klay Thompson.
Klay, game 6 Klay or game 1 through 5 Klay?
I got hey, Klay brings something. It's not about scoring with Klay. Klay can also dish it. So Klay, because Steph is gonna be there. You got to depend on Klay too. My last one, Marcus Smart.
The defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart. Mike has so many questions going on in his head right now.
Without Marcus Smart and Al Horford in that game, what happened? You need a Marcus Smart on that floor because he is the new
Marcus.
He's just somebody that's gonna go out there. He's gonna do it all. So yeah, these are the
baby
5.
Draymond.
Yeah, the 5 most important or top players left. Not season. I'm talking about.
No, yeah, playoffs left. Yeah, we're talking about left in the playoffs.
These games, those are the 5 most important.
Mike, is LeConte number 1?
No. Oh, Luka? What? Yeah. Luka's number 1.
Put you off the show.
I was thinking about some like dessert called Lucante. I was like, what?
Y'all be trapped.
No,
I'll send you the meme, Mike, so you'll know what we're talking about.
I got Jimmy Butler number 2.
Oh, above Steph and Tatum. Okay. Keep going.
I got Tatum number 3. I got Steph at 4.
At 4. Wow.
And I got Brunson at 5.
Damon, yes. The answer for those who missed this question did Mark Cuban adopt Michigan Mike? Yes. The papers were filed last night, signed this morning by the judge. He has Jalen Brunson in. Now I agree with y'all but I have Jaylen Brown instead of Smart and instead of Brunson. Brunson, no, don't make no faces. Jaylen Brown.
I didn't make it. I was just wondering why.
Jaylen Brown been my rebel since I was a little kid. Jaylen Brown, ladies and gentlemen. So okay, all right. So we're pretty much there in that regard. Okay, I was really curious as to where Jimmy Butler was going to be in everybody's spot because he's quietly had one of the best playoff runs we've seen in a long time. But if they get eliminated by Boston, nobody's going to care.
Check
Luka, LeConte, we got to come on now. Games 3 and games 4. Mike, you going to one of those 2?
Nah, man, I ain't got that money for that.
Money? You got it, big money.
You got it, big money on the 3rd floor.
We just painted the house. We just finished the fireplace. Like, nah.
Big money. You got it, big money.
We know what we got. You got it, Booster Mike.
God.
Mike, them waves was deep and crispy, wasn't it?
That look too, just like.
Woo, film
was
it
almost
for
like an and one. That was an and one look. You looking back like, man, don't foul me. Shouts out to that. Okay, all right. Look, at 59, 30. So look, man, this says T. That's how the guy stays on top of the time. T Sizzle, your parting shout outs.
Well, I really don't have any parting shout outs.
Well, Mike's like, pick me.
The one I do have is for Mike Vick. And I know that's strange, but Mike Vick is going to give it a go in some kind of little football league that they have at 41. I don't care.
Man, I pray for his hamstrings.
Yes.
Ooh, them hammies.
We all know him. Mike Vick got caught up in that dog fighting ring. Okay.
No, Mike got bad friends. He should have never been implicated in that.
The Eagles, he did pretty good when he came back. I mean,
he had a good run when he came back. Yeah.
I mean, I've always liked watching Mike Vick, and I'm gonna, give a shout out, praying for his health at 41, that hamstring don't give way. Allowed the point guard, Chris Paul.
I slipped in a wet tub getting in the shower and almost tore mine off the bone.
Ooh, I know how that feels.
You know that one, Mike?
Yeah, no. So your body just freaks out and it tenses up. And you're like, ooh.
Right? You like, I ain't gonna make it to work today.
Yeah. What happened? I almost fell out the tub.
You know how you step in that, you get the water.
Paul needs those handicap poles.
And you got one wet foot, one dry foot on dry land, and then you get that slip.
Now I'm scared. So if I ever get back in your shower again, I'm gonna be like, I need some shoes on. I'm scared now.
Mike, stop that face.
That is the face.
You too can bathe in Cafe Coca, but that's the look. You like, I don't rip something. Like this ain't gonna be good. Yeah. Mike, your shout outs for today.
All right, I got two. One is Michigan basketball team. We have every team covered in the NBA playoffs right now.
Really?
We got Jordan Poole.
Okay.
Yep. Nick Stauskas is in the Celtics. Okay. Duncan Robinson, of course, the Heat. Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Now, how did we not win a championship with that squad? They were all on the same.
And we should have. They were cheating. Come on.
We cheated. It was all ball with Trey Burke, and we all know that.
He put it on the glass like
they got the photo.
All ball.
He put it on the glass.
Put them on the glass, girl, and then they should have came back another year. That whole team should have stayed intact.
Yeah.
If that team would have came back, they would have been like the 1990 UNLV running Rebels. When they came back that second year, just tore through the whole league and went basically undefeated. All right, your second shout out.
And then second shout out, my sister is graduating from high school, so we're having a big party today. So all the families around, they're actually setting up and all that. So.
Oh, okay. He was like, I got to go upstairs and do my thing.
Wait a minute, look at that! Look at the spindles on that
right. Is Mama Hasso there? Where's Mama Hasso?
Yeah, my mom's here. Steven's here. Yep.
All right, so you got the family there for real.
Yeah.
Well, look at
we got some brisket. We got some brisket. We got some
brisket and biscuits.
Not a fan of the brisket.
Woo! You didn't have the right brisket
then.
To
Texas enough.
That's what it is.
When I come to Texas, it ain't nothing but that lemonade and them fried brownies.
Oh, we got some lemonade here, some fresh lemonade. Got you.
I want vodka in mine, but that's for the After Dark show. I'm going to piggyback off Mike. I'm going to give a shout out to all of the high school and college graduates of 2022. Graduation day was a special time. Me and Tasha graduated on the same day, both with honors.
In June.
Do y'all want to guess who finished ahead of who in the
First of all, I was probably one of the dumbest people in. I just got into the honors because all the people that I hung with was in the honors. Because I didn't meet these people.
Tasha, you're making me look like an idiot. You finished 1 seat ahead of me, 2 seats ahead of me.
Because I wasn't from where everybody in the school was from, so I was new. So all the people that I hung with, I was like, well, shoot, they all in these classes. Maybe I need to get in these classes. I wasn't qualified. I was not qualified.
And she still beat me. I had focus issues.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I had on a white robe.
I had on a black one. Oh, the boy was doing his homework back in the day. Shouts out to the University of. Wait, hold on. Your sister graduated high school though, right?
My sister? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn.
I was like, who's she?
Right, I'm damn. Okay. All right. So as Mike gets prepared for his family celebration. And Tasha gets prepared to jump in the pool. As y'all can see, she's already ready. Will you show them the bottom half of that? I know people wondering, Lord, we're going to start singing Moulin Rouge. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will see y'all in 6 days and 23 hours. Until then.
Oh, shouts out to Steph. She had her surgery. Quick recovery, Steph. Love you.
Quick recovery, Steph. Love you. We out of here. Peace. Hold that smile.